Howdy, folks. I'm Colonel Sanders, and you're not. It's 2024. Happy New Year to everybody who is watching this. If you're still on my channel, thank you. If you're coming from Instagram, TikTok, thank you. And before I get started, the image behind me is an AI-generated image as if KFC and Fortnite do a collab where they put Uncle Harley in the video game as a character and have a finger-licking season at some point during Fortnite's life. So, with that said, KFC, we all want to see it. You got me back on your team now. I want to see it. Let's make it happen. Contact Fortnite. It shouldn't be too hard. I know Nick Chavez wanted to see it. He liked the idea. I saw that. Now, with that said, I'm not sure how much of this I can show you. Most people know that back in April, I made up with Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I've been learning more about the business more than I knew before through the research and the family history that I have with Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now I'm learning about the current days and how the business operates. When Uncle Harley first started Kentucky Fried Chicken, there were no contracts. There was nothing that was a legal binding document with any of his franchisees in the beginning. He can be quoted saying that it was the finest group of men and women that got together to do business. And it was all done on a handshake. His first yes for his franchising was Pete Harmon in Salt Lake City, Utah. And that restaurant's still there today. The world's very first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise, and it was on a handshake that Uncle Harley would get a nickel for every whole chicken sold in a meal. And that handshake is what sparked many more handshakes after that. Uncle Harley did the same deal with many, many, many other franchisees who saw his success in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Corbin, Kentucky, and decided to take it on as a project of their own. It wasn't until about when Brown and Massey purchased KFC in 1964 that all the legal documents and no longer relying on handshakes started taking place. Everything was done through the system rather than in a gentleman's agreement. So we can agree that Uncle Harley did not like that. Many people that knew him knew that he had an issue with this, and many people that knew him also knew he really, really, really disliked lawyers because of this. And the other reason why he disliked lawyers is because he used to be one, and he failed at that because he got into a brawl in the courtroom. Anyways, so I reached out to one of the franchisees that I knew that helped make up with Kentucky Fried Chicken and myself, and I asked them just to humor me what goes into starting a franchise. They told me that first I need to get approved or pre-approved to qualify to be a franchisee. It's about a $750,000. You have to at least have to have that in your pocket, pretty much, or your bank to qualify. So obviously I'm not going to qualify because regardless what people say, my family is not rich just because we're related to Colonel Sanders. That's just not how it works. Anyway, so you have to have that. And this new agreement, and I'll only show you this beginning part that's in front of my face here. The franchisee will operate a dine-in and carry-out KFC outlet which prepares and sells chicken and other menu items KFC LLC approves. The total investment necessary to begin operation of a newly constructed Kentucky Fried Chicken outlet ranges from $1,852,825 to $3,771,550. This includes a $45,575 to $50,500 that must be paid to KFC LLC or its affiliates. The total investment necessary to begin operation of the reopened or remodeled former KFC outlet or converted KFC outlet ranges from $1,052,825 to $2,521,550. This includes $45,000 or $45,575 to $50,500 that must be paid to KFC LLC or its affiliates. Many can agree that Uncle Harley would not like this, including the people that work for KFC that knew him, because we all long for the day that we could rely on each other's handshake and word to be their vows. I only show you that bit of it because that is the disclosure agreement for franchisees to get started. It's about a 400-page document, and I don't know if I can show that to you all, but I will show you that because everybody's always asking me, what does it cost? What does it cost to start a franchise? Because when I was doing things with Lee's, I actually learned what it costs to start a franchise. It was significantly less because they're not as big as a chain. But I was able to get that from the company itself before we went our separate ways. And I was allowed to share that with folks because obviously Lee's wanted me to do free advertisement to get franchisees to franchise with them. With that said, KFC right now is pushing for more outlets to be open. There's over 20,000 locations worldwide. 1% is corporate owned, 99% is franchisee owned. And the franchisees can be companies, they can be individuals, they could be a group of investors, it could be whatever, but it's not the corporation. The corporation only regulates what the approved menu items and the way of conducting business is done in those franchises. Anyways, let's get back to the franchising. Everybody's always asking me how much it cost for KFC, since I talked about Lee's for so long last year. How much does it cost for KFC? Well, it's about $750,000 you are required to have in the bank to qualify as a franchisee to get the application. After that, the most it costs is about $3 million to build a brand new location, and that includes buying the property to build the franchise on. And it's also important for me to know I don't speak for the brand. I don't work for the brand. I'm friends with some of the people in the brand, but I'm not an employee of the brand. I'm just a historian on my family history, and I'm learning more about the brand and how it operates today than I ever did before, and I'm sharing that with you. So again, I don't know how much more I could say about that document or if I could show the full thing, and if I can, I will get permission and I'll share the full thing. But until then, that's the only bit I'm showing you because that is the question everybody asked. And furthermore, down on there, it says that number can change and is subject to change, even without notice. So that can change from the moment you're watching this video in 2024. That's how much it costs, though, roughly. You're going to need a few $1,000,000 you want to invest. You could also lease get a leasing permit or whatever it's called. I'm not entirely sure. I was just reading it. I'm not an expert in this field of franchising today. I knew how Uncle Harley did it. I didn't know how they do it today. You can lease it, and it's significantly less, but you still need to have some pretty good wealth to invest in the franchise. But KFC right now is encouraging expansion. So, there y'all go. Catch me in the next video. We do a lot of KFC history, lore, family lore. I talk about rumors and stuff. I got more knowledge about fried chicken than anybody else in the country probably has. I know more about Uncle Harley than most of my family now, since I took all my family stories and put them together in my head, and I'm able to share those with y'all. We also do a lot of gaming on YouTube, so make sure you check that out too. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of content, a lot of stuff over the last 10 years on YouTube, a lot of content on Instagram, a lot of content on TikTok. And those are the short form videos of this information that you're getting in long form here on YouTube. So thank you. Goodbye.